Down inside here, you notice just inside the door is a little white detector, and that's a propane or LP detector that just will sound an alarm if there's ever a gas leak. However, the reliability is better on your human nose than these are. So if you do smell gas and this isn't sounding an alarm, trust your senses, because it's one of the most noticeable smells that's out there. So just always test that. Make sure that there is a little test button, and you can press that and check it out. It'll also, if it's going off and you know there's no gas leak, you can hit the mute button. It's still advisable to go outside and turn off your tanks and just check to make sure that you didn't leave a burner on or anything. That's typically the most common reason a gas detector goes off. Underneath your kitchen sink, you'll notice that there's this item here, and that's called a converter, and that changes your 110 volt over to 12 volt. You don't really need to do anything with it, but if it ever does quit working, you'll see that there's a couple of green fuses right at the front of it. And if for some reason it doesn't check, you can just check these two little fuses here and see if one of them's blown. These tend to be a really reliable system, so hopefully you'll never have to worry about that. Over on this side, right by your main entrance door, you'll notice that there is a set of switches. This is for your slide out. So you have a power button on the bottom, and then you have an in and out button on the top. So to run the slide out, you would turn the power switch on, and then you would just run the slide out in, and you'll notice it comes in. Press the button out, and it goes back out. As soon as you hear it ratchet like that, you want to stop. Up here you have your outdoor lights and your indoor lights switches. In the ceiling you have your air conditioner ducts. These are speakers. Then you have a smoke detector as well over here. Your stereo, air conditioner, and TV antenna. On your air conditioner, they have a thing here called Quick Cool, which you open up that vent and it allows it just to dump all the cold air in here. So if you get up on a weekend and it's really super hot in, if you open those up, it'll cool down the main living area much quicker than running it through the ducts. I'll show you how to operate that in a second. It all operates off of this thermostat. So on this thermostat, it has a cool selection or furnace selection. And then you'll notice that there's fan switches. So there's auto, there's on, and then there's high, and there's a low setting. Then your thermostat is over here on the side. So the complicated thing about this is that the air conditioner works in conjunction with those fan switches. So if you turn this to cool, and then you have this on automatic, what will happen is the fan will run and the air compressor for the air conditioner will come on with whatever the thermostat's calling for. If you don't want that, and a lot of people want to have just kind of that constant noise so that if they're trying to sleep, then you would turn your fan switch to on there, and then you could select high or low speed, and then the fan will continuously run, but the air compressor only comes on and off with the thermostat. So you can choose whichever way you like. Now if you go to run it on the furnace, you push it down to furnace. These switches have nothing to do with controlling the speed of the furnace. However, you would want this turned to automatic, because if you leave it on, the furnace will run as well as the fan on the air conditioner. The compressor won't be coming on, but the fan will be running constantly, which kind of helps defeat the purpose. You can hear the furnace running there. And that's the cold air return for it down there. What will happen with the furnace is once it'll run for a minute or two until it makes sure there's no leftover gases in it, and then it'll fire up the ignition system. When I go to shut it off, it'll continue to run, but what will happen is it'll need to cycle through where it allows it to cool down and make sure it's emitted any excess gases left in the chamber so that there's no fear of combustion there. And once you've turned that off, it'll still take a minute or two for it to shut down. Up in this cupboard here, or area here, is your TV antenna. There's a 12-volt outlet there, and then there's also a 110 plug. You'll notice that there's a little black button there, and there's a green light on. That indicates that the amplifier is amplifying off the antenna. If you're hooking up to that cable outside, you'd want to press that little black button off so that it's not trying to boost the antenna signal and get cable signal as well. So up here is your roof antenna. All you do with the roof antenna is you wind it in the direction of up. You'll see the little arrow there. You wind it in the direction of up. You always want to be gentle with these. As soon as it stops, you stop. Then your antenna's up. Then if you want to try to tune in your signal, you pull down this outside collar, and then you can adjust your signal to get the best reception. Then what you do is you line up your two arrows, and you wind this in the back in the down direction. And you just hear it go. And you never force them because they are, as I say, very sensitive. They're just little plastic worm gears in there, and you can strip them if you try to force them. Up here is your stereo, and that works like every stereo, which means I probably don't know how to work it. When I was younger, I used to be able to. So you've just got a power button here. Comes on. That's for tuning. Volume.
To chat with you about your changing sleeping needs, from making the most of small spaces.
Eject for to remove the faceplate, which you can do like that for security wise. To install it, you just put it back in and snap it into place. You've got your band selector here, whether you want it to go to AM, FM, if you want to play the CD, and then if you want to turn it off. Actually, I did know how to use that one. Up in the bedroom, have your bed and everything. Roof vent up here, and that just winds up and down by the handle. Another outlet up here for a TV. Sink, and then just above your bathroom sink is that GFI I was talking about outside. So you have a little test button here that you can press, make sure it's working, and then you press the reset button and it'll turn on, except I don't have power hooked up, so you'll see that little light beside it. Right now we're just operating on the battery. In the bathroom, you have your toilet. You notice that there's water in it. You always want to keep water in the toilet because that acts as a seal and keeps the odor from coming back in. It flushes over here on the far side. There's a little pedal, and you press it down, it empties the toilet, and then fills it back up with a little bit of water. If you want to fill it up with a little bit more, then you just push up on the pedal with your foot, and that'll add a little bit more water to the toilet. If it ever starts not holding water, it's common for these seals on the bottom in here to get a little bit of debris or toilet paper stuck in there. So if you just take like a little a little toothbrush, run around the seal there, that generally will fix the problem. Above the toilet is a fan, and there's just a little on-off switch here. There's a lid that will open and close, which you should keep it closed, and definitely when you're storing it in the winter and things. But there is a cover over this one that will allow you to leave it open when you're not here, just to help air circulation. Over here's your hide-a-bed sofa. It's actually called a jackknife sofa. And you just basically lift up the front end of it, and it pops down. Then to put it back away, you essentially just do the same thing. Lift it up and push it down. You'll also notice that there's storage underneath there as well. That concludes my tour of the trailer. I hope you enjoy it. And if you have any questions, give us a call. 652-3284, and that's area code 519. Thank you.